Hey, what's up, guys? It's the L7C bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel. We are looking for an opponent right now to just get a game in. And we have an opponent. We click ready up. We're about to see what they're bringing to the table. I go with scissors. I get the win. I get to go first. Oh, I actually click second. Interesting. But I'm looking at my hand. I have two Eternal Souls, Keeper of Dragon Magic, Tenyi, and Rod. So there's a lot of plays possible. A Blue Eyes or Dark Magician is very easy to get with this hand. First turn with the discard of Keeper of Dragon Magic to get the fusion deployment. And I see the first card and it is Salamangreats. And I'm like, okay, Salamangreats possess a lot of stun and could be a hindrance to my deck. So I'm like, alright, is he gonna get the Salamangreat Roar? He summons his monster. He's waiting to do something else. He summons both. I'm like, all right. He's going to start link climbing as we speak. He sets a card. And to my surprise, he does not actually link climb. He actually goes into Tornado Dragon first turn. You're about to see it when it happens. So we're just casually waiting. And then, yeah, right here goes into Tornado Dragon. I'm like, that's new. But actually, that hinders me a lot because Eternal Soul's weakness is getting blown up and it destroys all my monsters, so I have to wait. So I do the Tenny's effect. Since I control no effect monsters, I could special summon it from the hand. The waiting, I'm pretty sure, is the Tornado Dragon if it wants to blow up a back row. So I special summon the Tenny, defense. And we just have to wait every time because of his effect. I summon Keeper of Dragon Magic and I activate Keeper of Dragon Magic's effect to discard a card to get a fusion card or polymerization in my hand. So I'm getting fusion deployment so I could summon a Blue Eyes and Dark Magician and just run over that Tornado Dragon. But my man had the counter. The one card in his hand was Ash Blossom, so that hurts me a lot. Typically, my cards, Keeper of Dragon Magic, Magician's Rod, those are my two main starting cards. And if they get ashed, I'm in a predicament. Because if that didn't get ashed, his card would have been ran over. He would have had one card face down. It would have been easy peasy for us. So we're actually just going to have to end our turn. Because we also don't run an Exceed level 4. So that really stinks. And we didn't realize that until later on in the game. So he draws his card. He can't pop anything on my field back row wise, but he's stronger than both of my monsters. So I'm just looking, seeing what the Salamangreat Heart is, seeing what's in his grave. And we're just casually waiting on him to see what he is going to do next. And we're just still just sitting here waiting while I'm trying to formulate my next move. If one of my cards survive, I have the Magician's Rod in hand, but the problem is the usual go-to is Rod into Circle. He has Tornado Dragon, so if I go Rod, Circle, he'll just pop. And here he plays a Call by the Grave. He gets rid of my, as I call him, the fake Dark Magician, because he's not a real Dark Magician. He's only Dark Magician on the field. He'd be a significantly better card if he was Dark Magician in the grave as well. Don't know how Konami messed that up. So then he just goes into battle phase. And then I think he attacks my Keeper. As I do recall rewatching this game. And he's just, no, he attacks my Tenny. I don't know why he didn't attack my Keeper. My Keeper has a secondary effect. If there's a fusion material in the grave, I can reveal the fusion monster and special summon it. And then, Lord and Behold, I draw Elemental Hero Prisma right here. So then I'm looking if I want to go Rod or Prisma, but I remember Tornado Dragon's there, so I go into Prisma, do his effect, reveal a fusion material monster, send Dark Magician to the grave. And then right here is when I was circling around my extra deck to see if I had a rank 4, but I realized in this build I do not, so I was like, shoot, this stinks. Because what I could have done here is gone into a Daiguso Emerald, detach, bring back Dark Magician, and attack. And here I am looking at my extra deck saying, ooh, I don't have that Daiguso Emerald in this. So I have to do Keeper of Dragon Magic's effect, reveal a fusion material card, and then get the Dark Magician back from the grave, and he goes into face down defense. He's 2100 defense, so right now he's tied with Tornado Dragon. but my other two monsters are just there ripe for the taking, and he has the face down. So then I have to put Keeper in defense mode and just end my turn here, and then Prisma's effect wears off. So then we're waiting to see again. And right now I have 3 cards in hand, and he had just got 1, but he has the 2 in the back, and the Tornado Dragon was still the popping effect. That's the problem. I would have said Eternal Soul, but I didn't want to waste any Eternal Souls right now. So now here he goes again. He summons his monster. Effect activates. We're waiting. The Bureau's up top. Another Salamangreat. Another Will Salamangreat. So I'm just like, okay, I don't think I'm dying this turn. With a 2100 defense Dark Magician and only a 2100 attack monster right now, I do not think I'm gonna die. So then we're just waiting on him. It's always the hard part, waiting, because you have to see what they're gonna do effect wise. But then his monster goes up to 26, so I'm like, oh boy, this could be very problematic, as now his monster is stronger than my Dark Magician, even if it was in attack mode, but definitely stronger while he's face down in defense. He's going to do a Salamangreat. Oh, he goes with Dante. I forgot he's running Dante the Inferno. This guy's a very diverse extra deck, which I could appreciate. It wasn't the basic stuff. So Dante, who's been around forever, he detaches. He gained 1500 attack because of his effect, because he sends 3. So he goes up to 2500. Yep. So now he has a 2500 attack monster and a 2600 attack monster. So right now I'm in a predicament. He attacks the Keeper with the Tornado Dragon. Nothing I can do about that. Then he attacks the Prisma with Dante. I think he did that for damage, or if he forgot the Dark Magician was face down. I don't know if it would have been beneficial for him to just get rid of the Dark Magician, and then Dante goes into defense mode, which is 2500 defense. So I can't even kill that with Dark Magician. So I'm in a real pinch, because I want to set Eternal Soul really badly, flip it, search the Dark Magic attack, but I'll just get popped and I'll lose my monsters. I do draw a Polymerization, so this is where I start to get into some things. I do Rod, finally, and then I do the search. I'm waiting for him, and we're just going to be waiting. And then I believe I get the circle. So I do get the circle, and this is what I want to do. So then I flip. No, first I activate circle to see if he's going to respond. And then he's deciding if he wants to respond or not. He does respond. He detaches. Blows up circle. And since he did that, I didn't get to rearrange the top 3 cards on my deck, which stinks. But he can only do that once per turn. So then I play Polymerization. I make the Dark Magicians. So then now I'm stronger than his Tornado Dragon. So then I go into attack mode, and then main phase 2, set, and end turn. So now I got the Eternal Soul set. I got the Tornado Dragon out of the way. I just have this Dante to deal with, which I am stronger than. So now we're just waiting to see what he's going to do, because now it's been flipped to him. And these are the type of games that I love playing. Obviously, my deck is not a top tier deck at all. It's a mismatch of Dark Magician and Blue Eyes cards and other cards that make it work. But just showing what a deck can do when you make it from scratch. Going against a Salamangreat deck that was at the top not too long ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago max. It's always a very good rogue contender currently. It's a very great deck that you can make for cheap. You can just buy 3 structure decks at Walmart, and then you have the deck, and then get a couple of other cool cards like Signet Mining and maybe an Access Code Talker and things like that. Just buff up your deck. But I love having these longer games because it tests the will and skill of the players. So then he summoned an Ash Blossom here, and I'm thinking, is he going Needle Fiber? Because usually when you see a tuner summon to the field, you think Needle Fiber. And there's nothing I could do right now against a Needle Fiber right now, so I'd be in a very bad spot. So I'm sitting and I'm always thinking, like when you're playing these decks, you always think about the meta stuff. You're thinking, is he going Needle Fiber? Is he going Link Cross? Is he going to do anything? So then I do the Dark Magician's effect since he activated a Spell or Trap. So I actually get a Keeper of Dragon Magic to my hand. So I'm still sitting here thinking he's going to Needle Fiber. That's just, then he discards the card. I'm like, okay, seeing what's next. Activates Fox Effect. And I'm just like, all right. And then I said, nope, don't want to activate Eternal Soul at the moment. So we're just going to wait it out. So I'm like, nope. Because Eternal Soul really wouldn't be doing anything at this point in time. I could special summon Dark Magician from the grave or get a Dark Magic attack, but that's not what I want right now. Right now I'm just trying to see what he's going to do. So he keeps summoning his Salamangreat monsters. And I'm like, there's 4 monsters on the field. Are we thinking Boral Sword? Are we thinking an access code? Like, what are we thinking? Are we just thinking about a Boral Load? Those are the type of things that are going through my head and thinking if I could survive those things. Now we have 5 monsters on the field. So I'm like, oh, there has to be a big Link summon coming. And now it's just our job to wait and see what it comes and if we can defend ourselves going the next turn. Right now, looking at life points, it's dead, almost dead even. I'm at 72. He's at 73. Field presence right now is obviously in his advantage. No cards in hand. I have 2 cards in hand. So this is a really good back and forth game, especially in this current era where Yu-Gi-Oh's done in about 1 or 2 turns, and we've each had a couple of turns to go at each other. There goes the big Link summon, so I'm waiting. I was like, Appaloosa. And I said, okay. He wanted to get that negate out on the field, and since he used 4, he's at 3,200. So he's stronger than my card. So he attacks that. They're asking me if I want to activate Eternal Soul. I believe I again say no on that. Yep, I say no. I lose 400. But then the Dark Magician's effect activates where I can get a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. I mean, both of them. From the hand, deck, or grave to the field. But then he activates Appaloosa and negates that. But Appaloosa, when it negates, it loses 800. So I'm like, alright, flip my Eternal Soul, activate the effect, bring back my Dark Magician. Now I'm the strongest card on the field. And asked me if I want to do Magician's Rod's effect. I did not want to do it that time because I needed the Dark Magician out there. That was more valuable than getting the rod and doing the recycling. I did not want that. So now he's in a little predicament because he does have the negate, but the negate's not worth much if it's just a vanilla monster. So then he links into a Salamangreat card, and I'm just like, okay. If he doesn't do anything too crazy, I run over the Appaloosa. That's my next thing. And then with the Keeper of Dragon Magic, if I can get that normal summon off, I can discard the other Eternal Soul, get a Polymerization, and then I can make a Dragoon, and I think that would be it. If I can get to those things, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. And this has been a long game. I think this game goes 16 minutes of back and forth, so it's almost like we're dueling like an episode of the show. I draw the Omni Dragon Brotar, another good discard. So I'm looking, I'm like, alright, time to try and make Dragoon. But first I actually attack. The reason I attacked first is because if I would have summoned Keeper of Dragon Magic, did the discard, he would have negated it, and that just would have been another Dragoon negate. I already had my first one negated, so I wanted to be safe and just get rid of his card. So then I go into main phase 2. There's no monster negates out right now. Do Keeper of Dragon Magic, do its effect, discard. I actually believe he activates the Salamangreat Roar, the counter trap right here to stop that, because he might have known what I was trying to do. So he gets rid of that. I'm like, dang, he will not let Dragoon play today. But since he destroyed it, I can activate Omni Dragon Brotar's effect. When a monster is destroyed, I can special summon him from the hand or graveyard. He's asking if I want to do another effect. I'm like, no. And then he comes out asking me if I want to do his effect to search. I'm like, no. Right now I activate Eternal Soul. I get the Dark Magic attack. I activate the Dark Magic attack. He actually protects his field spell with a Salamangreat card in the grave. And I'm just like, darn it. I forgot all about that. I should have looked. But then with Brotar, I get him. I link him off for a Link Karibo. And then end turn. And then I'm thinking I'm not going to die here if he does something. 1 card in hand, 2 on field. I have 3 cards on field, 1 in hand. So like again, we're pretty even. So life points, he's still 72. I'm at 68. It's been a great back and forth. And I think he's making his push right now to try. He discards, special summon the Foxy, and then we're just like, okay, what do we? He blows up the Eternal Soul. That stinks. But remember, at the beginning of the game, the Tenyi Spirit Sinta activates now. Since a non-effect monster was destroyed, I could special summon him back and destroy a monster on the field. I destroy his Foxy that was just summoned because I already knew what the Link was doing. It wasn't hurting me, so I got rid of the Foxy. He forgot all about that, or didn't look in my grave, because I do run some very unorthodox stuff for these type of situations. And then I'm just like, all right, well, I don't think he has anything right now. Then I stop his play, and I'm like, I think he's out. He tries one more thing. He sends his monster back, and I think he quits here, and that will be the game. He gives up. It was a hard-fought game, but the main deck pulled it out. That's just how we do it. We love fighting these back and forths.